What's up, guys? We are back with a full slate of NBA action here on Friday, December 27th. We're going to break down every NBA game tonight and look at bets on the side and over-under, and I might be throwing some player props in the pinned comment once injury reports are confirmed sometime after 2 p.m. Central Time here on Friday. Guys, Thursday did not exactly go according to plan. I kind of hope you missed out on the late Thursday night football picks that we added into the pinned comment because none of them worked out. That was pretty brutal. On the NBA side, guys, we did throw an Amen Thompson prop in there. He didn't do very well, even though we saw Houston easily cover that 8 points. We also hit the over in that Utah-Portland game. The Bucks minus 9.5. They rested Giannis, and the subs did not come through as expected. So yeah, a pretty tough day out there overall, guys. Let's see if we can bounce back in this one. If you want to win all of your bets today, hit that like button. It's good luck and show support for the channel and all the hard work we're putting in every single day. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on our daily content. You can now also sign up for a channel membership by clicking the little join button right below the video. Members get early access to all of my videos and get their names up on screen just like right now. I really appreciate the support from all of you. Seeing that badge next to your comments keeps me fired up and motivated to make this channel even bigger and better. All of our videos are sponsored by StumpTheSpread.com. We have a team of experienced cappers over there for every major sport, currently covering NFL, NBA, NCAA football, UFC, NHL, and college basketball. This is one of the best times of the year to be in the mix with so many sports going on. Click the link in the description if you're interested in signing up and also to join our free email list to get the occasional free or premium pick straight to your inbox. Comment below with any bets you're looking at today and we will give you our best advice on all of them. We are committed to responding to every single comment every day, so let us know anything you want to say about my picks, these videos, or anything you see here. As always, our favorite picks will be in the pinned comment down below. Now let's get into our first game of the day. We've got the New York Knicks going on the road to take on the Orlando Magic. The Knicks come into this game playing pretty well, guys. Winners of their last 5 in a row. They're up to 20-10 on the season. Their last time out was that Christmas Day game, a very tight one, a 117-114 win there against the Spurs. They really didn't have any answers out there for Wembanyama. I mean, he put up 42 points in the loss. It was, a very, very nice day from the Knicks overall. I mean, 41 points there from Mikal Bridges, for sure, by far his best day there playing for the Knicks. So that's got to be a great sign, for any Knicks fan. They've got to be pretty pumped about that. The bench put up some big plus-minus numbers that looked good, but didn't do much scoring. As a team, we saw New York shoot only 33% from 3 in that game and managed to come out with the win, so that's a good look for sure. Cat put up 21 points, didn't shoot the ball great. Jalen Brunson was actually 7 of 23 from the field, 0 of 5 from 3, and still managed to put up 20 points and be a +4. So good things there for the Knicks. They'll definitely take that. In terms of their injury report, they're looking very, very healthy coming into this game. Obviously, no Mitchell Robinson back yet. We'll see when he eventually gets out there, but I think it'll be a big, big deal when he does come back. It sounds like it might be sometime around, late January could be possible when he'll be out there for game action. So we'll see when that eventually does happen. But I am expecting big things from the Knicks here as they go on the road to take on the Orlando Magic. They're coming in this game fresh off a heartbreaker. They lost basically by, it was not quite a buzzer beater, but it was very, very close. I think there was maybe half a second or less left on the clock when Tyler Hero buried that dagger for them last night. Yeah, Orlando going to be playing on back-to-back nights in this one, losing 89-88 last night against the Heat. A tough one for sure. Suggs had a big game. He put up 29 points, played great. We saw 4 starters scoring double figures. Tristan Da Silva continues to play great. 18 points, a +12 from him. There's just not a whole lot left on the bench for this team, though. That's, it's a pretty big burden when you see 3 of your best 4 players probably are all injured. Like, just brutal, brutal stuff for the Orlando Magic, who are poised to have a big breakout season, do a lot of good things. Maybe they'll be able to do some good things once they get, Franz Wagner and once they get Paolo Banchero back. But I don't know, guys. It's been a brutal, brutal way to go here for the Magic. They come into this game close to healthy. I mean, Gary Harris still there on the injury report, guys. He won't be playing. He didn't play against the Heat. I don't know for sure if he's going to be playing in this one. He's still dealing with that hamstring issue. We haven't seen him play since back on November 25th. So, yeah, no real clarity there on whether Gary Harris is going to be back. If he does come back, he'll probably be on a minutes limit, and I don't really think he moves the needle for me too much. Anyway, looking at the numbers for this game, guys, we see the Magic playing on back-to-back nights here. They're at home. They're getting 6.5 points. We've got a total of 211.5 in this game. The Knicks are 8-8 against the spread on the road. They're 9-7 to the over on the road. And guys, they are weirdly 1-5 against the spread when they have a rest advantage. Orlando 11-3-1 against the spread at home. Obviously, most of those numbers came when they had all their players. They are 9-6 to the under at home, and they are 2-3 against the spread on no rest. Guys, I don't love that 1-5 against the spread with a rest advantage number there for the Knicks, but I do think they come away with a comfortable win and cover in this game. I've loved what we've seen from the Orlando Magic, generally speaking. Like, this is definitely a very gutsy team, a very grit and grind kind of team. They're going to do their best to make these games close and to get some wins in there as they wait for their guys to come back, but it's going to be pretty brutal out there. In terms of that over-under, not really interested in that spot, but I do think this is a good spot to take the Knicks. Next up, we're looking at the Indiana Pacers. They're going on the road in this one to take on the Boston Celtics. The Pacers come into this game 15-16 on the season, fresh off a tough 120-114 loss there against the Thunder. They had no answers for SGA in that game. He put up a crazy 45 points. Things aren't looking that hot for the Pacers, guys. They're now one game below 500. We did see, Pascal Siakam continues to consistently put up good numbers, 22 points, 10 rebounds. He's going to get his numbers. Nemhard actually played well in the loss, putting up 23 points, but Halliburton continues to just be a shell of his former self. He had 4 points, 0 of 2 from 3, 2 of 6 from the field in 35 minutes. He had 8 assists. Whoopie freaking do, guys. I don't care about this. This dude needs to put up or shut up. It's getting brutal for him. It's looking really, really bad. He's falling off a cliff. I don't know what happened to the dude, but it has not been good. So we'll see what the Pacers can do here going on the road. Obi Toppin did sprain his ankle in that game against the Thunder and did not return. I think it's very, very unlikely that he plays in this game, even though he's been being listed as day-to-day. We'll see what happens, but I don't think we're going to see him, and that does make things a little bit tougher there for the Pacers bench. I don't know, guys. It was pretty tough stuff. I mean, we did see Miles Turner play in that game. He was questionable. He didn't play great. 12 points, 4 of 13 from the field. So we'll see what they can do going on the road to take on the Boston Celtics. Obviously a very, very tough task, but Boston's been floundering lately. They've actually lost 3 out of their last 4. A pretty bad 4-point loss there against the Magic. They lost a game against the Bulls in like a crazy upset. They lost to the 76ers there on Christmas Day. Pretty tough stuff. I mean, not a lot of teams can guard Embiid, but it was Maxey that led the way there for the 76ers. So, yeah, not an amazing look for Boston that's supposed to be this amazing, defensive stopper. They allowed the 76ers to shoot over 40% from three-point range. Tatum put up 32 points. He played pretty well, and it wasn't even like an inefficient. It was an efficient 32 points. The Celtics shot 40% from 3. I mean, they just really lost this game because they couldn't defend Maxey well enough and they couldn't defend Embiid well enough. The bench looked pretty pedestrian. Pritchard had a terrible game. He was 0 of 8 from 3, only 1 of 9 from the field for 4 points, and just no good production there coming off the bench. Porzingis was very inefficient there in his 13 minutes, not having a good time either. So Boston definitely in a big bounce back spot in this one, no doubt about that. We do see Drew Holiday and Porzingis both on the injury report here. Holiday dealing with that shoulder issue. He is questionable for this game. He hasn't played since back on the 23rd, so we'll see if he's back for this one. That would obviously be a very nice boost. Porzingis dealing with his ankle, and just in general, they want to limit his minutes as much as they can. He is questionable for this game as well. He only played those 13 minutes against the 76ers and did not look good, so definitely concern about his availability for this game. So looking at the numbers here, the Celtics are big 11-point favorites. We've got a total of 233.5. The Pacers 8-10 against the spread on the road, 9-8-1 to the under on the road, and they are 2-3 against the spread on no rest. Boston, they're only 5-11 against the spread at home. They're 9-7 to the over at home, and they are 5-4 against the spread with a rest advantage. Guys, I don't think I can get away from this one. I think I've got to take the Pacers and the points. I don't love what we're seeing from Halliburton, but I really don't love what we're seeing from the Celtics. If Drew Holiday's going to be out, that's obviously a big, big problem. They haven't been playing great recently. You could, definitely convince me this is a bounce back spot after they lose there on Christmas Day, but are they really going to beat the Pacers by 11? It's not like Indiana's the toughest out there, guys, but I just don't trust it, guys. I just cannot trust it here. We've seen, we haven't seen these teams play since, all the way back on 10-30, and the Pacers got an overtime win in that one. Give me Indiana here getting double-digit points. Next up, guys, we have the San Antonio Spurs. They're going on the road in this one to take on the Brooklyn Nets. The Spurs are 15-15 on the year, so exactly at 500, fresh off of that Christmas Day loss there at the Knicks. Honestly, that has to feel like a moral victory for them. I mean, Wembanyama looked unstoppable out there. 42 points from him, 16 of 31 from the field, 6 of 16 from three-point range. He had 18 rebounds in the game, 4 blocks, a steal, 4 assists. He was doing it all out there. Chris Paul had 7 assists. We didn't see anybody else go particularly nuts. Sohan did have 21 points, but was a minus 12 out there. So, yeah, the Spurs also lost this game despite shooting 42% from three-point range. They defended relatively well, but they just could not stop Mikal Bridges. He was absolutely killing out there. And honestly, the Spurs aren't going to be an amazing defensive team anyway. So we'll see what they can do in this one. I have high hopes for this team. Maybe not this team necessarily, but for Wembanyama. Harrison Barnes needs to play a little bit better. There's lots of guys on this roster that could play a little bit better, but really this is about the development there of Wembanyama and him continuing to stay healthy. And that's what we see right now, guys. Everybody healthy and ready to go there for the Spurs as they go on the road to take on the Brooklyn Nets, who come into this game fresh off of a 111-105 win last night against the Milwaukee Bucks at Milwaukee. So they're having to go from Milwaukee to Brooklyn. So not the craziest flight or anything like that, but they are playing on back-to-back nights. We do see, I saw a very good day from Cameron Johnson there against Milwaukee. And keep in mind, this was Milwaukee without Dame or Giannis. So let's not get out of hand here. But it was a good game. Noah Clowney also played well. Ben Simmons was a plus 16. He only had 8 points, but 9 assists and did some positive things out there. As a team, Brooklyn shot 42% from three-point range, and they did a good job, but playing on back-to-back nights can be a little bit tough. Right now, we see a very crowded injury report for Brooklyn. I mean, Ben Simmons is on there. Cam Thomas is on there. Dorian Finney-Smith is on there. And we did not see Dorian Finney-Smith play in this last game. Ben Simmons, always on there. He could be resting on the second half of the back-to-back. Cam Thomas, guys, that hamstring issue, he was inactive on Thursday. He's apparently nearing a return, so we don't have clarity on whether or not he's going to be out there. And Dorian Finney-Smith obviously didn't play against Milwaukee, but maybe we'll see him come back for this one. That also feels like it's very up in the air. So we'll see what happens in that whole injury situation for the Nets. And who knows, they can end up trading somebody away too. The Nets are getting 7.5 points in this game. We've got a total of 212.5. The Spurs 6-6 against the spread on the road. They're 7-5 to the over on the road, and they are 3-4 against the spread with a rest advantage. Brooklyn 6-7 against the spread at home, 7-6 to the over at home, and they are 1-4 against the spread this season with no rest. Guys, that 1-4 against the spread on no rest, that crowded injury report definitely has me leaning here towards the Spurs at -7.5. Despite the fact they're playing on the road, I think they're going to be hungry to get an actual win here. There's nobody on the Nets that can guard Wembanyama, maybe nobody in the NBA right now. Give me the Spurs to get the winning cover. I also think, and maybe this is a better play even than the Spurs to win and cover, I like over 212.5. Neither one of these teams play defense. 212.5 is a very small number. Definitely give me the over in this spot. Like, this seems like a very crazy number. I definitely expect it to move. It might already be moving, so definitely lock me in here over 212.5. This is going straight into the pin comment. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're going on the road in this game to take on the Houston Rockets. The Timberwolves got the win the last time out, guys. That 105-99 win against the Mavericks. They desperately needed it there. Obviously, coming out and getting a win on Christmas Day is a huge deal. Anthony Edwards played great. Kyrie Irving had 39 points. Lots of good stuff, but Luka Doncic leaving the game with a strained left calf. Probably the biggest story for this game, if I'm being honest. I mean, Kyrie did what he could. He put up 39 points, a marquee performance from him, but it was just a little bit too much for him to handle there, and Minnesota shot 43% from three-point range. Not something you can count on this team to do all the time, but Anthony Edwards is on 11 of 24 from the field, a +8 out there and 26 points. DiVincenzo continues to play well. He's finally settling into his role there, so we're liking what we're seeing from him. Julius Randle had a positive plus-minus for the first time in God knows how long. He played really well in the game, but not something you can count on. He almost had a triple-double, but we'll see what he does in the next game. Usually don't see amazing stuff from Julius Randle on back-to-back nights. He just isn't, I don't know. I'm not a big Julius Randle believer, guys. I've not liked this trade. I've not liked the way the Timberwolves have been playing since bringing him in. So we'll see what goes down in this one. In terms of the injury report for the Timberwolves, things are looking very good. They are healthy and ready to go for this game as they get on the road to take on the Houston Rockets, who are fresh off a 128-111 blowout win there over the Pelicans. That was one of our premium plays over on Stump the Spread, so nailed that one, put that win on the board. That was a nice 3 or 4 unit play on the Houston Rockets. Yeah, they got a comfortable win there against the Pelicans. Like I said, 128-111, not really close at any point, guys. We saw Jalen Green have a big day, putting up 30 points. Fred VanVleet put up 25. Just very, very dominant stuff. Cam Whitmore had 27 points off the bench. The Rockets shot 38% from three-point range. They dominated the boards in this game, and things are getting very, very bleak for the Pelicans. The Rockets come into this game looking not fully healthy necessarily. We saw Dylan Brooks and Tari Eason both miss that last game. Brooks dealing with that ankle issue. There's a chance he could be back for this one, but I feel like that's a little bit of a stretch. Tari Eason, guys, that lower leg injury. He didn't play on Thursday. It doesn't seem like a lock that he misses this game, but it also seems, a little little bit unlikely. So we'll have to wait for a little bit of injury clarification there. But right now, it's looking like the Rockets are probably going to be running with basically the same group that they had last night against the Pelicans. So we'll see what they can do. They're 1-point favorites in this game. We've got a total of 213.5. Minnesota 8-7 against the spread on the road, 9-6 to the under on the road, and 2-6 against the spread with a rest advantage, guys. That's pretty wild stuff. Houston, very, very good, 10-4 against the spread at home. They're 7-6-1 to the over at home, but they're 1-5 against the spread on no rest. So neither team is really great against the spread in this specific situation, with the rest deal, but I'm leaning just slightly here towards the Rockets. The Timberwolves are in a big letdown spot. I know Houston's playing on back-to-back nights, so this won't be going in the pinned comment. Don't have enough faith in them, to be at full strength or, full energy level necessarily here on back-to-back nights. So give me the Rockets in this one, but it's only as a small lean. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Memphis Grizzlies. They're going on the road in this one to take on the New Orleans Pelicans. The Grizzlies come into this game fresh off a 155-126 blowout win there, guys, over the Raptors. That was pretty crazy stuff. Wild game. We saw a massive night from Zach Edey. Very impressive there, guys. 21 points, a plus 29, 21 points, 16 rebounds. He was killing it out there. Even made a 3 in the game. Shot 5 of them, which is kind of crazy. The Grizzlies shot 40% from 3-point range. A nice night out there from Jaren Jackson Jr. Ja didn't even have to do that much and was still a plus 28. He only played 24 minutes, and we saw most of the Grizzlies starters play very, very limited minutes in this game. Definitely something to take into account since they're playing on back-to-back nights. We also saw Scottie Pippen Jr., Luke Kennard, and Brandon Clark all play great coming off the bench. So just a banner day up and down the roster there for the Grizzlies. They've got to love that. They didn't play much defense out there, obviously, given that big total, but they definitely took care of business. In terms of their injury report, guys, we definitely see Marcus Smart still on there. We'll see when he eventually comes back. He didn't play on Thursday. He hasn't played since the 21st. Dealing with that finger issue, it sounds like he's probably not going to be out for that much longer, but we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, Scottie Pippen Jr., Luke Kennard, and Jalen Wells maybe getting extra minutes. Really not the end of the world here. So we'll see what Memphis can do as they go on the road to take on the Pelicans, who are also playing on back-to-back nights. They got blown out by the Rockets like we were talking about. New Orleans, they're in a disaster situation. They're 5-26 on the season. Things are not getting better. They're only getting worse. We saw Trey Murphy III. He was questionable, but he did play in this game, posted 21 points, but was somehow a minus 30 as well. The bench actually looked okay at different points. Brandon Boston played well off the pine. Just not a very good team, not a very deep team. They are running out of options here. Time to be trying to sell off Dejounte Murray, CJ McCollum, maybe Herb Jones, maybe Zion should even be on the trade block as well. Things are getting very, very bleak there for New Orleans. They come into this game, healthy in terms of who they still have left. Obviously, we're not going to see Brandon Ingram or Zion or anybody like that anytime soon. So, yeah, looking like a starting lineup of Dejounte Murray, CJ McCollum, Trey Murphy III, Herb Jones, and Missy. So, not expecting miracles from that lineup whatsoever, especially playing on back-to-back nights. We see the Pelicans are getting 9.5 points here playing at home. We've got a total of 238.5, so a pretty big number. Memphis 8-5 against the spread on the road, 9-4 to the over on the road, and 3-1 against the spread on no rest. New Orleans 8-8 against the spread at home, 9-6-1 to the over at home, and 4-2-1 against the spread on no rest. So, guys, first up, I definitely think this is a reasonable spot to take the over. I know it's a ton of points. I know these teams are playing on back-to-back nights. I don't think that's going to matter. I think we're going to see the ball go in the basket an awful lot. But what I'm much more interested in is the Memphis Grizzlies to get the win and cover. Their starters didn't play very many minutes. It's not like this is some massive travel spot either. I mean, Memphis, they played at home, and now they're playing in New Orleans. Memphis to New Orleans, not a bad little trip. So definitely give me the Grizzlies here, minus 9.5. I think they get a comfortable win and cover on the road in this game. Rolling right along here, guys, we're looking at the Cleveland Cavaliers going on the road to take on the Denver Nuggets. The Cavaliers come into this game winners of their last 5 in a row. They just took down the Jazz 124-113, so not a crazy blowout, but definitely a comfortable win. We, like what we're seeing from Cleveland this season, they're 26-4 on the year, absolutely cruising. They got very nice production just across the board from all their starters. I mean, Mobley had over 20. Darius Garland had 23, Sam Merrill had 20, Donovan Mitchell had 22, big plus-minus numbers looking very, very positive. The bench looked good as well. Karis LeVert coming off the bench is quite the weapon. We just loved what we've seen from this team overall, guys, and they have not slowed down. They shot 43.5% from three-point range in the win. They did get out-rebounded, something that's, I'm not going to say it's a trend necessarily for them, but they're not always the toughest rebounding team. definitely something to keep an eye on for them, once they get into like the playoffs and stuff like that. But we'll see what they are able to come up with. But obviously, loving what we're seeing from Cleveland. They come into this game relatively healthy as well. Obviously, Okoro being out has been, not great for them, at least on defense, but he's still going to be out here for another, probably at least 6 or 8 days. We'll see. It's still a little bit unclear, but we expect him back eventually and not too far in the future, and that will just be a nice little boost for already one of the best teams in the NBA. We'll see what the Cavaliers can do going on the road to take on the Nuggets, who are 16-12 this season. They're fresh off a 110-100 loss at the Phoenix Suns, guys. Yeah, they played back-to-back games. They beat the Suns, and then they lost to them there on December 26th. So, yeah, Jokic, obviously, trying to carry this team. He had 25 points, 15 rebounds, but only 2 assists. Like, the dudes can't knock down the shots. Russell Westbrook played amazing, 17 points from him, but none of this was enough for the Nuggets to overcome, shooting only 8 of 29 from three-point range. That's not going to get the job done, despite the fact they had an edge on the boards. Like, this poor team, like, I don't know, and by poor team, I just mean poor Nikola Jokic. Just, Jamal Murray out there, 4 of 10 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3 in 39 minutes. Like, where did you go? What are you doing? Like, I don't know. I just wish they weren't wasting a year of Jokic being so amazing. So we'll see what they can do in this one. The injury report is kind of what you would expect. Aaron Gordon on there, Jamal Murray on there as well. Gordon, he's been ruled out for the game against Cleveland, so he will not be in this one. And Jamal Murray, with his ankle issue, he's probable, but bro might as well not be out there at all with the weak-ass numbers that he's been putting up. So, looking at the numbers for this game, we see the Nuggets are getting 2.5 points here playing at home. We've got a total of 236.5. Cleveland, 8-4 against the spread on the road, 8-4 to the over on the road. Denver, 5-6-1 against the spread at home. They're 7-5 to the over at home. You could maybe talk me into looking at over 236.5, but I'm not that interested in that number, to be honest. I'm very interested in Cleveland at -2.5. Honestly, minus anything less than 5 seems great in this spot. I think Cleveland's going to come out, comfortably handle business. I think they're going to get a dominant winning cover here against a Denver team that, cool, Jokic might come out and score 50. I think that Nuggets still easily lose this game by like 10. Moving right along here, guys, we're looking at the Dallas Mavericks going on the road to take on the Phoenix Suns. The Mavs are in a weird spot now, guys. Luka with that calf strain going to be out at least a month. They lost 105-99 against the Timberwolves. Now is going to be the time Kyrie Irving is going to have to step up and really, really carry the load for this team. They've got some other pieces, kind of, but they're all going to really have to, bond here around Kyrie because, like, Derek Lively, PJ Washington, like, Clay is going to have to step up in a big way. A lot of things are going to have to come together here because, yeah, missing Luka. This team is not a team that's designed to work really without Luka. They don't have a deep bench. Like, definitely plenty of reason for concern. I don't know if maybe they should panic. The Mavs shouldn't, but it's not looking great. Looking at the injury report, obviously, Luka out. Derek Lively listed as day-to-day. He's questionable with a left hip contusion. I think there's a good chance we see him play in this game as they go on the road to take on the Suns, who are 15-14 on the season, coming off of that 110-100 win over the Nuggets. Some good signs. I mean, Durant put up some points, but they were pretty inefficient points. Bradley Beal played pretty well. He's starting to turn it on a little bit here, so I would expect him to get hurt any game now. That's kind of his MO over the course of his whole career, so we'll see what happens there. The bench didn't look too terrible in that game. Monty Morris had a big game, but how often can we expect that to happen? Phoenix just isn't looking their best right now. They're really kind of just waiting for Devin Booker to come back, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be happening here too quick. He's been ruled out for this game against Dallas already, so we'll see what happens. That Luka injury is definitely why we see the Suns here as 2.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 228. Dallas 8-6-1 against the spread on the road, 11-4 to the over on the road. Phoenix 5-11 against the spread at home. They are 10-6 to the under at home. Guys, I don't have a huge lean on this game, but I do think it's a spot you want to take the Mavericks and the points. I'm not loving what I'm seeing from the Suns right now. I do think we'll see the Mavs kind of bond over this whole Luka being hurt thing. Next man up mentality, like dudes are going to be trying to step up. I don't know how well that's going to work in the long term, but I do think that emotional wave could maybe, carry them to possibly even a straight up win in this game. Last but not least, guys, we've got the Golden State Warriors going on the road to take on the LA Clippers. The Warriors are 15-14 on the year. They've been on a hell of a skid lately. They lost a heartbreaker against the Lakers their last time out. That was a brutal, brutal way to lose there. I mean, obviously, you never want to take a loss like that on Christmas Day. Yeah, that Austin Reeves game winner was quite the shot. A very, very tough one. Curry played his heart out, 38 points. He did everything he could. Wiggins even played really well. He had 21 points. 14 points from Kuminga off the bench. The Warriors shot 40% from three-point range and still lost the game. Just not a good feeling, guys. I mean, this was a game where the Lakers only had 7 minutes of Anthony Davis, and the Warriors still managed to find a way to lose. They need to find a way to make a big move, make some sort of big splashy big splashy trade, I think is the way out for the squad, but we'll see what they can do. It's been a bit brutal lately. Looking at the injury report, it looks like Steph might be out for this game. Yeah, he's going to not play in this one due to knee injury management. So Steph won't be playing. Draymond's questionable with a lower back contusion. I think there's a good chance he doesn't play in this game either, which obviously a pretty big deal there if you see both of those guys sitting out. And Gary Payton the second is going to be out for a little bit here with that injury. So things are looking a little bit problematic for the Warriors. They're going on the road in this one to take on the Clippers, who have won 3 out of their last 4. A nice 114-110 win at the Memphis Grizzlies. Their last time out is a very, very nice win. Norm Powell playing amazing. He had that hamstring thing, came back from it, looking totally fine out there. Harden looking great running this offense. Zubac looking like a legitimate big man. He had a 20-19 day there against Memphis, and they won that game despite shooting only 9 of 27 from long range. They didn't even have an edge on the boards and still managed to win this game. So Clippers absolutely cruising. They're looking healthy except for Terrence Mann. He is still dealing with that finger issue. He's apparently going to be out for this game. So looking at the numbers here, the Clippers are 3.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 215.5. The Warriors are 9-6 against the spread on the road and 9-6 to the under on the road. The Clippers are 10-6 against the spread at home and 9-7 to the under at home. I'm not interested in under 215.5, guys, but I'm very interested in the Clippers here at -3.5 playing at home against a Warriors team that's not going to have Steph. I don't think that's going to go particularly well. We could see Kuminga have some sort of big pop-off game or something like that. Like, this is a pretty deep Warriors team, but I'm not sold. I think the Clippers are going to have a good time here at home, and I like them -3.5, a very reasonable amount. That's all the games we have for today, guys. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. Thanks for watching. You can click the link in the description to check out StumpTheSpread.com, and we will see you guys tomorrow for more sports betting action.